Welcome everyone to today's webinar, The Real Benefits of Access Control Integration. Before we get started, I would like to go over a few items so you know how to participate in today's event. You may have joined the presentation listening using your computer speaker system by default. If you would prefer to join over the telephone, just select phone call in the audio pane and the dial-in information will be displayed. You will have the opportunity to submit text questions to today's presenters by typing your questions into the questions pane of the control panel. You may send in your questions at any time during the presentation. We will collect these and address them during the Q&A session at the end of today's presentation. And now it's my pleasure to introduce you to our first speaker, Simon Wilson, CLIQ Business Development Manager at Aperio Opening Solutions. Hi, Simon.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, or wherever it is you're joining us from today. Thank you very much. My name is Simon Wilson. I am the CLIQ Business Development Manager for Aperio and part of the DAS team. I've been in the security industry now for the last 18 years. I've spent the last 8 of those years working with digital key-based cylinders, and I've been watching how the industry is transitioning from the mechanical world more and more into the digital world when it comes to security. I'm joined today by my 2 colleagues, Tim and Pete, and over to you, Tim.
Hey, thank you, Simon. So my name's Tim Timmins. I've been in the building controls industry for 30 years, originally from an electrical background. 26 of those years I've been working on the African continent. I've recently relocated back to the UK, where I've taken up the role as business development manager for an Aperio product called Incedo. Pete, over to you.
Thank you, Tim. Hi, as Simon already mentioned, my name is Piet van der Lossen. I'm 20 years in the industry. So it means 20 years by Aperio. Started in the mechanical industry, and I saw the transition to the way it's today. So today we are very hard involved in electronic access control and wireless devices. So I do business development Aperio in the EMEA region. Back to you, Simon.
Thank you very much. And so our hope from today's webinar is that over the course of the next 45 minutes, we can show you why integration of security systems is becoming important to more businesses. We're going to look at how streamlining operations can be done by connecting platforms. We're going to talk about how to extend access control across buildings and multi-platforms. Hopefully, we can help you understand better how cost savings can be achieved by adding wireless access control. And we're going to look at the different platforms available to you from Aperio when it comes to wireless access control. And we hope to be able to offer some insight into what potentially would be the best solution or fit for you and your business. However, before we start the webinar, we're going to ask a quick question that we would like you to poll, and we'll get the answers before we go to the next slide. But how important is system integration for you and your business? And for those of you who are in our audience today, please select from one of the options below. We will now be compiling those answers, and we will have the answer very shortly. You can see from the screen in front of you, we have its options of critical, very important, and not important. And there we go. So we can see from our audience polling today, 63% of our audience have said that system integration is very important. 38% have said it's critical. Most importantly, for the type of webinar that we've got today, nobody in our audience today thinks it isn't important. So that's quite a relief. And so we can start with today's webinar now. Thank you very much for taking part in our poll. As you can see from the stats on screen now, integration has been, and it continues to be, a hot topic of discussion throughout 2021. And as we are in the infancy of this decade, it has already been said that the 2020s will indeed be the wireless decade. From headphones to vacuum cleaners, consumers are reaping the benefits when they cut their cables and adopt wire-free technology. In electronic access control, those benefits include improved cost efficiency and flexibility, giving facility managers greater control over who should have access, where and when. Using the latest survey trend reports, we can see that over 90% of survey respondents identify the importance of integration across building management functions. Access control is critical. Half or more would prioritize electronic access system integration with CCTV, alarm and visitor management systems. And the introduction of such security integration platforms is now leading to further unification of security systems under one single comprehensive software application. And of course, with that, then the most significant advantage of connecting security domains through such a platform is obviously the capability to manage each associated system through one centralized software hub with one user interface. However, in practice, deeper integration of building systems remains on the to-do list for many organizations. But what is it that's holding them back? Well, for most, it's a cost, obviously. Some, it's a lack of technology. But for over a quarter of the survey, then it's down to a lack of knowledge or a lack of expertise. And so, hopefully, on today's webinar, we hope to address a little bit of that with some of the cross education that we hope to deliver today. Over to you, Tim.
Thank you, Simon. Okay, so integrations are a vital way of gathering and combining data. So this helps the likes of facility managers and security managers to make smarter, more informed decisions on the operation of the building. In a lot of cases, this is an automated process between the different subsystems. As we can see from the slide, security is a key piece of the integration puzzle. This includes your CCTV surveillance systems, intrusion alarm systems, and of course, access control, which we're going to go into a lot more deeper today. So I could go on forever talking about the different types of integrations we can do between the subsystems, but let's just give a couple of examples. So if we shared the occupancy information from the access control system with the building management system, this would allow, or possibly allow, for energy savings by reducing the requirements on your heating, ventilation, and air conditioning and lighting systems. These are the two of the biggest users of energy in a building. And it would do this by calculating unoccupied areas in the building, adjusting set points, lighting levels, and so on. This is just a simple way, but effective way of managing or saving money in a building. Another example is if we had an automatic transfer of employee information from your HR system to your access control system. This could allow for access rights to automatically be set in the access control system based on roles and responsibilities of employees. We would have data consistency because we're only entering the information once at the ERP HR level, and it's automatically then transferred to your EAC system. And this would also have, obviously, save on operational costs as well. If the employee leaves the company or has been suspended for whatever reason, the HR system could pass that information automatically to the EAC, the Electronic Access Control System, and automatically disenable their rights for access into a facility. So this is just a couple of examples of simple integrations that could be done. And of course, there's hundreds of them. Thank you. So let's have a look at the access control a bit more. Let's have a look at the importance and the benefits of integrating different building electronic and software systems in a facility. So if an integration is correctly implemented, it can offer the means for good operational efficiency, time and cost savings, improved workflows and security. And this will all depend on a few items. How the system has been scoped and how the specification has been put together is crucial. Correct implementation plan, allowing for future growth of the system and future proofing of equipment. So swapping out certain items of equipment going forward, it's critical to understand implementing new equipment and how it's going to affect existing integrations. So last but not least, another important item is putting together a proper integration maintenance plan. What are the integrations to consider? There's different levels of integration. It could be an output from a controller to an input to another controller as a hardwired integration. That is the most basic integration you can have. It could be pretty proprietary integrations. It could be the use of APIs and SDKs. So application programming interfaces and software development kits from existing manufacturers. It could be middleware or staging bases that are required. It might be the use of open protocols, and there's quite a few in the building controls industry. The BMS industry uses BACnet. The lighting industry, for instance, uses DALI. There's wireless protocols such as ZigBee. There's industrial protocols like Modbus. The CCTV surveillance industry uses OnViv, or it could be a combination of proprietary and open protocols to get the best result. Thank you, and back to my colleagues.
Thank you, Tim. And so before we can start to understand all of the benefits that wireless access control can provide and how it can help improve security, then it's important to look at where we are coming from with a mechanical perspective. Most buildings will still have mechanical locking in place. And in fact, it's stated that usually only around 10% of a building's doors are covered by access control. So that leaves a staggering number of doors still secured via traditional mechanical methods. The mechanical key has been around since the age of the pharaohs, and either fortunately or unfortunately, depends on your view, but times have changed considerably since then. Whilst a mechanical key system is in theory secure, it is essentially flawed in its inabilities to deal with the complex nature that the modern life place it puts on today's workplaces. Mechanical security suffers with certain inefficiencies that, well, they hinder really rather than help. For instance, a mechanical key either always opens a door or never opens a door. It's as simple as that. There is no capability at all on serving up time control access periods with a mechanical key. This, of course, means that there's zero personalization from a mechanical key. One mechanical key is the same as the other. It either gives access or it denies it. It essentially means that when you hand a key to a staff member, you're giving open-ended access to them for the duration that they retain the key. This can lead to problems of key control and key management. A recent survey actually highlighted that 17% of businesses surveyed had been victims of theft, where the perpetrator had actually gained access via a mechanical key. And of course, with mechanical key systems, you've got zero visibility for audit access. And so essentially, you do not know which doors the key has been used in, or indeed where the key holder has traveled throughout their time on site. And just to complete the misery here of the mechanical key system, managing hundreds of keys is an administrative nightmare. And because of this, then it often means that key audits are not performed with the frequency that they should be. And as a knock-on effect, then the key control is not at the level that it is expected to be at. Of course, now we've just identified why and where mechanical key systems cause failures around the workplace, then you can start to see why upgrading makes perfect sense. On our previous slide, you've heard me mention some of the pitfalls that your mechanical key today can cause. However, it doesn't just end there. Mechanical keys, as we have established, they have no audit capability, and so they leave no footprint of their whereabouts. This lack of audit means that they're incredibly difficult to track or to trace. The physical key itself being mechanical, then it's essentially just a piece of metal, which even if your master key system has a copyright protection, it still is susceptible to being copied. 3D replication these days is far cheaper than ever before, and it's far more accessible to the masses, with both printers and acrylics being easily obtainable from online retailers. But despite all of the associated threats and weaknesses that mechanical key systems pose, and there is really no greater threat than a lost or a stolen key. As you now have heard, often because a mechanical key system is difficult to manage and to administrate, then in order to make life easy for ourselves, we don't do the key audits, and we don't pick up that keys have been lost or indeed stolen with the level of frequency that perhaps a business should undertake this important process. A lost or stolen key, it's a critical breakdown of the integrity of the system. And ultimately, it means either you operate as a business with a known flaw, or you simply have to go out and replace the entire system just to regain key control. So how does wireless access control and the mechanical world meet? Through the important process of integration and electronic key-based digital cylinders. You can extend the capabilities of your security to more doors around your premises, and you can manage everything from a single electronic access control system. Ironically, this actually means that you can control far more than just standard door openings. You open the possibility to control the access of vending machines on site, cupboard storage, lockers, perimeters, external gates. The possibilities suddenly become endless. So you can now see the potential that upgrades and integrations can deliver. The cost-saving capabilities, they're laid bare for us. And we can see that the issue of lost or indeed stolen keys is removed. This age-old issue associated with mechanical keys is no longer a problem for you. Electronic access control wireless locking, it's simple to fit, and it means it can be retrofitted in any situation around the workplace. With the added capabilities of padlocks being also available, then you have an absolute premium range. With the seamless ease of integration, then the administration of your system, it's simplified and it's user-friendly. Cutting down on systems knowledge spread over multiple platforms, then you're freeing up time to be able to manage site security safely and far more comfortably. Pete, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Simon, and thank you, Tim, for your very clear explanation. So I will talk a bit about wireless applications in access control. So you can equip all your doors with wireless devices, or just some of them. Technically, there is no limitation. The installation of these devices is easy and clean, and as we all understand, there is no cabling needed. That's a big benefit. No changes to the door. That means installation time is much lower than for wired locks. For example, an Aperio cylinder that takes about 2 minutes to install them on the door. And in addition, the setup is quick and straightforward because no database integration is required, so you don't need a second server. One more benefit compared to a wired system, you can easily change your mind and remove the product from one door to another and install them somewhere else without losing the cost and the work of cabling. Wireless devices can be flexible according to your needs. On top of that, wireless devices are consuming up to 70% less energy than wired locks. Depending on the wired lock, it may have constant power supply. Just think, let's say, on an electromagnet. Wireless devices, they only use energy when it's needed. And no special maintenance is required. Depending on the usage, a battery should be replaced between every 2 and 3 years. This can be a part of a regular maintenance. It may surprise you, but all wired and unwired door systems, they require some maintenance to ensure the perfect operation. And this has more to do with the door as with the device on the door. Intelligent electronic access control systems, they do much more than just provide access. They can manage all systems in a building, such as climate, heating, lighting, elevator control, time registration, energy management, and much more. Integration plays a very, very important role here, as Tim already mentioned. This makes the system user-friendly and clear for the end user, and it also provides the data that he wants. Wireless door devices are an important part in this chain. Tim, up to you again.
Okay, thank you, Pete. Okay, so a couple of questions you need to ask yourself is, where is your facility right now in terms of access control? And where should it be to secure your building 100%? So many customers have an existing EAC, electronic access control system, that doesn't cover all areas that should be covered by an access control system, especially from an auditing point of view. So with ASSA ABLOY, we have other options than just wired readers, which could make the inclusion of those doors a lot more cost-effective solution. So we're going to look in a little bit more detail with my two colleagues, Peter and Simon. We're going to look a little bit more detail on the Aperio Wireless locking solution and the CLIQ digital solution as well. And once they've completed that, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the evolving ecosystem from ASSA ABLOY, which is called Incedo Business. Back over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. I'm going to talk a bit more about Aperio. So, all the Aperio wireless locking devices, they are robust and very reliable. Over the years, they have been road tested in all types of premises, and this all over the world. Aperio is a global technology. They are installed, as I said before, fast and easily with no changes at the door. As you can see on this picture, we have solutions for wooden doors, aluminum doors, glass doors, lockers, and a lot of other solutions. Also, Aperio devices can meet higher security needs if required. You will see on this picture, that's a good example, the Aperio L100. The L100 is based on the very well-known Abloy solenoid technology. Some Aperio products are also available in certified versions, like for fire doors. On top of that, the latest Aperio devices in the product family have been designed following ASSA ABLOY global design standards. These design standards includes also door closers, handles, cylinders, roses, and many other products. This is a very strong architectural benefit that no other company can offer. During its lifetime, you can update Aperio simple to another reading technology. A good example is you can change from MyFair to Desfire, and this makes Aperio again very unique. We can also offer customer-built reading technologies like for governments, for example, Calypso or the PicoPass. Of course, we are supporting BLE and NFC in our products. On this slide, you see a typical possibility of how Aperio can be integrated into an access control system. Aperio can be easily deployed together with wired systems, as you see here. On the right side, we have a wired door. In the middle, we have a wireless offline door, and on the right side, we have a wireless online door. Aperio, as I already mentioned, we're offering online and offline options right out of the box. So there is no different part number needed. This makes us again very unique. During its lifetime, you can easily switch from online to offline or vice versa without changing the product. So Aperio is flexible and easy to use also for your future needs. Very important to understand is what is the right application for your needs. If you need to know in real time what's happening in your building, then the Aperio online integration is the right choice. Your security control panel updates and reports back in real time. If it's economically a better solution, you can also use Aperio offline. In the offline setup, you need less or no door controllers. Offline systems are managed via user cards and updaters. As you know, an Aperio device may be deployed offline or online, or you can combine both of them in the same system. As we see on this slide, Aperio integrates with more than 100 OEMs worldwide, and it's still counting. This can be big global players, or it can be local strong companies who has an Aperio integration. Aperio's open platform approach enables the whole range of locks to work seamless with almost any system. Open development also future-proofs your investment in security technology. You are not locked into a proprietary system. Of course, Aperio wireless locking devices has been successfully deployed in buildings across the world and in different sectors. As you see here, this is a nice example of a hospital in France. Like this example, we have hundreds of examples in different industries. Many of our customers have been happy to share their experience and testimonials. If you want more information, more detailed case studies, they are available and free to download. To get them, please contact your local ASSA ABLOY entity or the ASSA ABLOY global websites. Thank you.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you for taking us through Aperio. So I'm now going to briefly talk about CLIQ. What is CLIQ? Simply put, it's the evolution of a mechanical key to a smart key. Why would we do that? Well, everybody on today's audience, what does every customer that uses mechanical keys suffer with? As we saw previously in the webinar, key control issues. CLIQ allows a user to take control of keys and the management and movement of people that hold them. Lost or stolen keys become a thing of the past when you upgrade from mechanical to smart keys. And as they are wire-free and they retrofit into every lock case type, then they're the perfect solution to solving issues of control with security around any business. At ASSA ABLOY, we understand the daily challenges that the modern workplace can pose, and our products are always built to reflect the challenges faced by our clients, which is why we felt that it was time to challenge the humble mechanical key. Our workplace environments are rapidly changing to reflect the modern connected world, and yet the key somehow remains at the center of everything that we do. The key in all its forms is a critical element in almost every and any security system. And as such, we felt at ASSA ABLOY the time was absolutely right for its evolution. CLIQ from ASSA ABLOY gives the user the greatest possible flexibility in managing permissions and schedules for not just keys, but for doors and for users, creating an extensive range of cylinders and high security padlocks for many access points beyond doors. It means that ASSA ABLOY are able to deliver a true wire-free solution, creating true freedom to manage your keys, with, of course, the added API integration and app functionality. Then we have made the key far greater than its mechanical predecessor. It means that with CLIQ, anything is actually possible. The power is indeed all in the key. And so, as today's webinar suggests, we're here to learn more about integration. And despite all of the benefits that I've just told you a CLIQ system can deliver, ultimately, it still means that you would be deploying yet another system on a site. Separate systems mean added workload capacity as you're operating various formats of security around a site. Added volumes of mixed security formats do not make for very comfortable working conditions. And it might mean every door and every entry point is indeed covered, but it also means someone somewhere on site is having increased workload capacity. How is this situation resolved? Well, as we are rapidly learning from today, we involve the integrations process. CLIQ has the capability to be integrated into most of today's popular electronic access control platforms. That complex multi-layered security system that you potentially had on site can now be managed comfortably and conveniently from a single source, which then goes on to offer a convenient automated process. This means happy employees, happy site security personnel, and a safe and secure site with working conditions. As we now know the benefits of moving from mechanical to digital cylinders, we can also see combined benefits of utilizing integrations across multi-layered platforms to provide the very best of integrations. All businesses benefit from time and labor savings as you move to a more automated process for working tasks, streamlining the administration and potential investigative work. You're increasing security by integration of multi-platforms and benefiting from up-to-date information on both site and personnel. Of course, all of this allows you better understanding of what is going on around you, as the data is far more convenient to pull and of course more relevant to your understanding of the business's daily running. And integrations, of course, allow you to extend the life cycle of a system deployed around your site. The benefits are starting to stare us in the face, and they're often far outweigh any of the negatives from not developing them further. Before I hand you back to my colleagues Tim and Pete, let me briefly show you some of the most common integrations that we've seen today with CLIQ. As we mentioned earlier, the hardware and the software integrations, of course, it means greater efficiency of daily operations, and these can be improved upon. System integration of fire alarms, intrusion detectors, even things such as automatic number plate recognition, all lead to a more streamlined, seamless operation. HR and security systems mean a more organized and efficient way of working. Things such as integration with AD/LDAP. It means access rights are automatically removed when an employee leaves the building or leaves the business, as Elvis would say. Integration into reporting tools such as QuickSight from Amazon Web Services. These allow greater visibility of a business's big data, allowing security teams the ability to see what is happening on site and exactly where it's happening. Then, of course, integration between task and workforce management tools mean reduced manual work for administration teams, and it makes field work far more efficient as well. Tim, back to you now, sir.
Thank you, Simon. Right, as mentioned in an earlier slide, ASSA ABLOY has a new ecosystem access control solution, which is constantly evolving. It's called Incedo-Business. On the screen there, you have the technology wheel showing all the different parts of the system and integrations. So it's been designed for small to medium building market sector. We have 3 management options, which we'll go into a bit more detail. These management options are modular and interchangeable. It enables you to choose from a wide range of equipment to be added to the system. We have a wired reader range using the latest security encryption and secure communications. Wireless locks can be used in offline and online with the system. We have digital cylinders and keys integrated with an offline capability. We have desktop and wall-mounted updaters for the offline information for digital keys. We have smart credentials in card formats. We can also use mobile technology for mobile credentials, and of course also the digital keys. We also have API integrations for third-party system integration, such as surveillance systems, biometrics, etc., etc. And an important point here, one set of controllers for all 3 management options. Thank you. So let's have a look at the management options in a little bit more detail. Okay, so we've got Incedo-Business Lite. This is a 32-door wired or wireless single-site embedded solution. So no dedicated PC. The controller acts as a web server. You interrogate the software embedded on the controller through a HTML5 web browser. Then we have another on-prem solution called Incedo-Business Plus. This is a 500-door wired or wireless solution. This can also run a multi-site for multi-site application from a single server as well. And last but not least, we have our cloud-based solution. Like Lite, this is 32 doors, but that's per IP connection. This could be wired or wireless readers. However, the cloud solution also supports offline functionality through wireless readers and digital cylinders. The information is updated, as we mentioned earlier, through a desktop updater or a wall updater. So that would update your transaction logs where your key has been used. It will also update the actual digital key from an access rights point of view. The user interface for all 3 options, you use an HTML5 web browser of your choice, compatible with all. As mentioned, one of the key points on this system is it's one set of hardware for all 3 management options, which means you could start with a light solution, you could progress to a plus solution because you're going over your 32 doors and you don't have to change any of the hardware. Or you could start with a light solution and go to a cloud solution, exactly the same. No changing of controllers, one set of hardware suits all. This is done in a master and slave arrangement. Each controller, depending on configuration, can support up to 8 wired doors. This is in a modular format by adding reader modules in a plug-and-play type connection, hence the name cluster controller. So basically, you've got 4 doors connected to a master controller or a slave controller. You want to add another 2 doors, you just plug a module directly into the last reader module. Wireless locks can talk to lights and cloud-based systems via RS485 wireless hub. On the Incedo Plus, they use the IP hub. And on the light and the cloud-based solutions, they connect to the master controller. Thank you. Just waiting for the next slide to come up. Okay, there we go. Thank you. So if we look at just some of the photographs here, we've got some examples of different types of readers connected to the Incedo platform, business platform. The lady carrying the laptop there is using a standard COS type RFID card credential on a wired ASA Abloy wired reader. We've also got an example of a card being used on a Aperio Wireless cylinder type arrangement there on the left-hand side. We have somebody updating a digital key there with a desktop updater, downloading its transactions and updating its access capability and credentials. And then last but not least, on the right-hand side, we have a gentleman that's using a mobile credential on an Aperio Wireless lock. All these fully integrated back to the Incedo platform. Thank you. So just before I finish, let's have a look at, give you an idea of some of the integrations that are already done. So on certain of our platforms, we've got the HID award-winning RB25F biometric reader. This is integrated with Incedo Plus. We have also, from a biometrics point of view, 2 of the leading biometric manufacturers in the world, Supreme and IDEMA. All their products are also integrated with Incedo Plus. And when I say integrated, I'm talking about we don't need the third-party software to do the take-on. It's all done within the Incedo Plus software. So no additional software packages to take fingerprint templates on or facial templates. And then we have, as we've spoken about, the Aperio Wireless lock range, completely fully integrated. And also there we have an example of the pulse digital cylinders and the digital keys are also fully integrated as well. On top of all these integrations, there are some other ones. There are a couple of video management systems that are already integrated. We have a very powerful API on Plus, and we've got APIs that are going to be available quite soon on the cloud solution to do these type of integrations as well. Thank you. So in conclusion, Incedo business, whether it's light, cloud or Plus, easy to install, it's easy to set up, it's fully expandable. One set of hardware suits all. You've got a full option of a range of access edge devices, whether you're going to use wireless, digital cylinders or digital padlocks, whether you're going to use wired readers. You've got access to integration to RFID, to APR. You've got integration into full biometrics. So you've got one-stop solution for a small to medium-sized building. Thank you very much. Back to my colleagues.
Yes, thank you very much. Now we're going to begin answering the questions submitted during today's presentation. As a reminder for our audience, you can still submit questions through the questions pane in your attendee control panel. And then our first question, what we have is, can Aperio be integrated with all existing access control systems?
Hi, this is Piet. I think I can answer this question very easily. The straightforward answer is yes. We have different possibilities of integration. When your access control system has already an OSS offline integration, Aperio is one-to-one compatible. Then we have the ASA ABLOY device protocol. We have an online and an offline protocol. That means you can connect your access control system with the Aperio IP hubs or the RS485 hubs. It depends on the capability of your access control system. So if somebody wants to integrate Aperio devices, we're starting with signing of an NDA, and then we hand over the ASA ABLOY device protocol, and then we can start to do the integration together. And if it's really hard to do integration one way or another, 99% of the access control systems, they have also weekend interface. So Aperio can also talk weekend. Of course, then we are losing a lot of messages and a lot of information about the locks and the doors, but there are a lot of possibilities. So the answer is straightforward. We can integrate with every existing access control system in the world. If this is an answer to your question.
Yes, thank you. That's great. Next one is for the integration with third-party AC system, like HV or SV. What are the steps and conditions to do that?
I think, Tim, this is more a question for you.
Yeah, sure, no problem. So obviously, Aperio and CLIQ can integrate into other access control systems. It's a lot more complex when we're doing an actual access control system to another access control system. For instance, the Incedo controllers and modules would not be compatible with an existing access control system. But like what we've done with Incedo, we can take third-party readers such as biometrics or different readers from manufacturers like HID and integrate that into an access control system. So that's the level of integration that could be done from an EAC point of view.
Excellent. Can we integrate this with S2 network node that has Mercury as ACM inside?
So Aperio, for instance, would integrate with S2. The ASA ABLOY readers, wired readers that we use, which are based on HID technology, they would integrate to S2. The point where it would be cut off would be the Incedo controllers and modules would not be compatible with S2, but everything else that we have in our portfolio would be.
Yeah, and in regards to Aperio, Aperio is of course integrated in Mercury. So every access control system that has a Mercury panel on board, we can talk to.
Okay, next question. Are mobile apps part of the integrations?
Definitely. So Incedo is fully compliant with mobile apps. We utilize the HID mobile app and the Origo platform. And the mobile apps will work on our wired readers, and they will also work with Aperio locks when connected to any EAC system, but with Incedo as well.
All right, and here's a question for Simon coming in. Are there any ready integrations with global AC providers?
Thanks, Christian. Yeah, for CLIQ, there are. I mean, just to name a two, we have Lenel. Lenel has an integration with CLIQ, and we have Genetec as well currently at the moment. And we're in discussions constantly with other global OEMs about integrations as well. So if there's anybody on today's call that's looking for an integration, please reach out to us. I see there is an email address on the screen now. Contact us and we'll follow up with you and help point you in the right direction.
And in regards to Aperio, on top of that, we are integrated with most of the global access control systems.
Excellent. Here's a question for Tim. How do I upgrade a system from a light version to cloud?
So that's pretty straightforward, actually. It's just selecting the right firmware on the controller. So in the controller, you've got to set the dip switches. You set the dip switches for cloud mode instead of light mode. The controller will then send a signal out across the internet for the cloud solution to find that controller. You've already entered the MAC address into the cloud software, and after a period of time, it will pick it up and automatically configure it via the cloud.
All right, thank you, Tim. At the moment, we don't have any more questions, so I think we can leave it here. So thank you, Tim. Thank you, everyone, for attending today's webinar. Once you leave today's webinar, you will receive a short survey on the presentation, and we would appreciate if you could complete that and provide your feedback. You will also receive a follow-up email within 24 to 48 hours with a link to view a recording of today's webinar. On behalf of ASSA ABLOY and our presenters, thank you very much for joining us today and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.